The test, the quiz on Tuesday covers everything up to what I'm doing today. Okay, so recursive formula on day 1, arithmetic sequences on the last 2 days, and then what I'm doing today, and then that ends it for the quiz. All right, that we're having on Tuesday. Okay, let's start it up. What we're going to do now, real quick review. You got your formula sheet too. Make sure you have your formula sheet out because you're going to need to reference that. 3, 7, 11, 15, 19. What's the pattern? Going up by 4. If I'm going up by 4, what do I call this sequence? What do I call this? Arithmetic, whatever you call it. Yes. Here's what we're going to do today. See this sequence? I want the sum of the first 80 terms. Okay, yes, add them all together. That's what we're doing. We're taking the arithmetic sequence and adding a certain amount together. All right? And the way we organize it is with this symbol right here. I don't know if anybody has ever seen, it's a Greek symbol. Most likely you may have seen it on some frat houses. Let's be real. Okay? This is a Greek letter sigma. All right? That's the Greek letter sigma, and what it means is sum. And you guys know in math, when you hear the word sum, I'm going to add up a bunch of terms. All right? Add up a bunch of terms. There are 3 parts to this sigma. Ready? On the bottom, you will see a number. That is our starting value. And I'll go over this in a real example in a second. That's our starting value. You will also see a number on the top of the sigma here. Everyone see where the n is? That's my ending value. And finally, you're going to see something here. Do you remember doing the problems over the last 2 days where it said write the equation for the nth term? Remember those? Write the equation for the nth term. That's what you're going to see here is the equation for the nth term. All right, that's what you're going to see right there. So those 3 pieces. And you guys are going to be very happy the way these work because they're very, very easy. Okay? Just it takes a couple to get used to. All right, so here we go. Number 1, I got my sigma, so I know I'm going to be adding stuff. What's the bottom number? K equals 3. That's where you start. You start by plugging in 3 into the equation I gave you. So everyone see where the K is. Plug in 3. Let me know what number you get back out. So plug in 3. 2 times 3 plus 1, you get out a 7. So that is the first term in my sequence. 7. Now I keep plugging in numbers until I plug in 8. So I'm going to plug in the numbers 3 through 8 right now. So I just plugged in 3. Next number I'm going to plug in 4. So plug in 4 for K. And when you plug in 4 for K, you get out 9. All right, now I'm building a sequence. But remember what the sigma meant? Sum. So I'm going to be adding these numbers in the sequence together as I go along. So you just plugged in 3. You don't have to write this. I'm just showing you. You plugged in 4. What's my next number? Plug in 5. Yes, plug in 5 for K. And you end up with 11. Yep. When do I stop plugging in numbers? Look at the top after I plug in 8. So now plug in 6, 7, and 8 now. And see what numbers you get out. So you should have gotten, what, 13 out? And then you have 15. Finally, 17. And then I stop plugging in numbers. Questions? All right, what is the sum of this sequence? That's going to be my final answer. What is the sum of this sequence. It's going to end up being 72. Yep. And that is the answer I'm looking for. That is the sum of this sequence. Everyone okay? Okay, now, I'm tired already of saying the sum of the sequence, the sum of the sequence. There's a vocabulary term that means sum of the sequence. It's right on top of your page here. That's called a series. A series is the sum of a sequence. Okay? So the series here equals 72. All right, one doesn't make you great, but now I can at least call on you guys. Okay, next up. There's my starting value 0, my ending value of 4, and that's the equation for the nth term. Here we go. First number you're going to plug in. 0. Okay, plug in 0. If you need to use your calculator, feel free. No shame at all. Never going to shame you for that. What happens when you plug in 0? 1. What happens? What do I get when I plug in 0? 2. Yep. Plus, here we go. You just plugged in 1. Now you plug in. Don't go right to 4. You plug in 0. Next number you plug in. 1. So everyone plug in 1 for n. And you end up with 1 again. You end up with 6. Yep. So you plugged in 0, plugged in 1. Now we plug in 2. So go ahead, plug in 2 for n. Number 1 again. Zero, 1, 2. I'm up to 3 now. Plug in 3 for me. 6. $54, thank you. And now I think we're up to 4, right? Plugging in 4. 14. Thank you. And then go ahead, guys, add them up. It's not bad, right? Not bad yet. 242. How's that look? 242. Not bad at all. What's new about 3, though? There's a 2 plus. Who cares? All I'm going to do is add 2 to my answer. That's what that is. That's what that means. Add 2 to my answer. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a forgetful person. I may forget to add 2 at the end, so I'm just going to, hey, ready? 2 plus. All right, let's do it. But if you guys want to add it at the end, go ahead. I forget a lot, so I'm just going to put the 2 there. That reminds me you better add 2 at the end. All right, go ahead. What's your first number you're going to plug in? 1. Go ahead. Plug in 1. What number do you get out in this sequence? 12. We don't have a lot here. 1. There we go. Plug in 1. We always have a 1. I said, yeah, I don't mind using your calculator, but okay, all right. Go ahead, plug in 2, everybody. Oh, I can't believe I just saw that with my own eyes. 5. Go ahead, plug in 2. Relax. 7, thank you, yep. We just plugged in 1, we plugged in 2. Somebody plug in 3 for me. 13. One, 2, 3. Now we just got to plug in 4, right? And when I plug in 4, I'm going to end up with 10. No, don't rattle me. What do you get? 1, yep. So I end up with 24, yep. Feel like you can do this one on your own. But now you just got to plug in 2 spots now. Okay, now you got to plug in 2 spots. You're going to start by plugging in what number? Okay, and then end at 5. Go. So you should only have 3 numbers you're adding here. Guys are doing a nice job here. Keep it up. Okay, what numbers? Take your time, though. Take your time. What numbers did you end up adding up here? Let's hear from 7. Don't have one. All right, that was what I was waiting for. 11. That was your final answer, right? That's fine. No, I'm good. As long as everyone else is 62. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, I'm good. Everyone else okay? Do you find these difficult? I'm not gonna get that much crazy here. There's only, yep. Yep, and you got 9. You got 12 out of that. Yes, yes, and then 5, and then we're done. You're good, Ben. Okay, everyone else? Everyone's all right? We sure? Okay. There's just one slight change up I'm going to throw at you right now. And then you tell me, what's the change here? Well, okay, I add 4. That's nothing new. We knew that. But what's different about this one now? 2 variables. And then what's the bottom of your sigma say? K equals 2. So you are only plugging in for K. X will just remain X. Ready? Plug in 2 for K right now. Here you go. First, let's put the 4 out there so we remember to add that at the end. Okay, plug in 2 for K. What are you going to do with this 3 right here? Yeah, distribute it. Go ahead. What do you end up with? 6 minus what? 3x. Okay, that's it. You just plugged in 2. Now what do I need you to plug in? Now I need you to plug in 3. Distribute again. What do you end up with? 9 minus 3x. Now what number are you going to plug in? 4. And I'll end up with, distribute again, 12 minus 3x. And I think I got one more to plug in, right? Plug in 5. Distribute. Oh, why am I listening to him again? Teach. Yeah, you better put an S on that moment. Yeah. All right, combine everything we can here. I got 46 when I add the numbers. And then what about the x's? How did I get 46? That's because, right? Yep. Good call. And then how many x's do I have? 12x? All good? Questions? We got one more here, and then I got good news for everybody. Two more variables, right? Everyone sees two variables. A and X, but which one am I plugging in for? X, here we go. So take 0, plug it in for X. You're going to have 3 minus 2A all raised to the 0. Do we remember our exponent rules? Because I do not want you to do anything here. Anything raised to the 0 power equals 1. So this is just going to change into 1. Okay, I got to start asking you guys questions here. Now, what's the next number I'm going to plug in? 5, what's the next number I'm plugging in? 1. So 3 minus 2A, all raised to the first. Anything raised to the first? It's itself, yes. 3 minus 2A. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to do a little work. What's the next number I need you to plug in? 1. Here we go. 3 minus 2A, all raised to the what, Aiden? Okay, now we got to talk, because I don't know how you're going to handle that, and I may get fired up if you handle it a certain way. It's not this. Goodbye, goodbye, get out. It's not that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. How do I want you to handle this? Off to the side, you're going to do 3 minus 2A times 3 minus 2A. Get after it. Go ahead. You rewrite it twice. Double distribute. So you guys are getting 9, right? Minus 6A. Minus 6A. And then what are you getting for that last term when you do negative 2A times negative 2A? Plus 4A squared. All right, you got a lot of combining to do, right? So 4A squared. Nothing, right? 4A squared. How many A's do you have up here? Let's see. Negative 2A, negative 6A, negative 6A. Negative 14A, taking your time. And then I got, let's see, 1, 3, and 9. 13. And that answer is there as choice 4. Nice job. Now, I told you I had good news. And I do. Go back to problem number 4, where we got 62 out. Grab your calculators, everybody. Follow along with me right now. Follow along, but have number 4 right in front of your face, please. Everyone, alpha, window, alpha, window, alpha, window. Does everyone see, it's probably different than mine, but you see the sigma on your calculator? No? Alpha window, everyone sees the sigma? Okay, select it. Select it. Okay. What? You good? Alpha window. You should see the sigma symbol. Okay, everyone's with me. All right, look at number 4, please. Look at number 4. What variable do I have? K. All right, so everyone should see you have the whole alphabet on your keyboard here. So you should see K right above the parenthesis for me. What do we start with? K equals 3, yep. And then what's our top number on the sigma? 5. Okay, that's 5. Inside was what? K squared plus K. All right, so you got to hit alpha K. K squared plus K. Boom, there it is right away. 62. Okay. Now, I'm going to push you to use your calculator because doing it by hand takes a little bit of time. All right, but there's drawbacks. to using your calculator. Ready for drawback number 1? No. I don't, guys, I'm showing you on your calculator. Why do you need to show me work? I know you're going to calculator. Drawback number 1. You can't do these problems on your calculator with 2 variables. It can't handle it. So you would have to do those out by hand. Okay, you can't do it with 2 variables. Good? Second thing, second drawback, and this is not really a drawback, but something you got to keep heads up on. Look at number 2 for me, please. Look at number 2 for me. Okay? Don't do it on your calculator. I want you to help me on mine. Ready? Alpha window, summation. What was the variable? N, right? All right, what's it equal to? 0, all right, and it went to what? 4, and then what was it? 2 times what? 3 to the, and what was our final answer for that one? Here's why. Pay attention. Here's why. N equals, where's N? Equals 0. I didn't do anything wrong there. 4. Here's what's got to happen. Look at, you see all this here? That has to go in the original parenthesis the calculator gives you. All of it's got to fit in there. Watch. Now I can do 2. Notice I'm fitting everything in that original parenthesis. Now we're good. Okay? So whatever is that equation has to fit in the entire set of parentheses you are given. Good? Okay? So now we can do that from now on. So we feel good here. And yes, you can do in your calculator 2 plus, then do the sigma button. It'll still give you the answer. Last thing we got to do before we close up shop today. Can you go from here to write your own? You got to write your own now. Okay? I am skipping over number 7 because I want to get to writing our own. So let's go to number 8. So here's what I'm looking for on number 8. Find the sum of 12, 19, 26, all the way to 180. What are you going by here? I'm going by what here? 7, so it's arithmetic, right? So if you want to find the sum of any arithmetic sequence, we're going to use the sigma. All right? If you want to, because we can plug it in our calculator. That's why I'm having you do it this way. All right? Because you can plug it in your calculator. Bottom number, we will always start at 1. That's not even up for discussion. We will always start at 1. Makes it easy on us. Do you remember this part here? What was this part? That was my formula for the nth term. The equation for the nth term, which we've had 2 days of practice on. Got your formula sheet? A sub n equals, we got off to the side, we got to come up with this equation we've been working on the last 2 days. N stays n. We always discuss this. N stays n. Ready? What's the first term? 12 plus n stays n minus 1 times, what's the d value here? 7. And what am I going to ask you to do here? Clean it up. Clean it up. Yep. Distribute the 7 and add the 12. Go ahead. That'll be the equation of the nth term once you guys clean that sucker up. You don't need parentheses, no. No. You can, that's fine, but you don't need to. What are you guys getting? 7n plus 5, okay, so there's the equation of the nth term. What's the only thing we're missing? Yeah, what do I go up to? Which is basically how many terms there are. That's what I'm looking for here. How many total terms, if I listed out 12 to 180 going by 7s, how many terms does that be? Can I use anything over here maybe to find out what n is, what that number is? There you go, boss. Use that equation Use that equation you just made. Plug 180 in, because remember, anybody remember our discussion yesterday? An is always a term in the sequence. Okay? And I'm trying to figure out what term it is. Is it the 5th? Is it the 10th? Is it the 100th? So 180, plug the term in, equals 7n plus 5. Solve for n. How many terms am I adding up as you go along? 25 terms. And that's great that you just made that, but that's not my answer. I need to know the sum. So quickly, ding, 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 alpha window. So all those numbers add up to 2,400. All good. And we can get one more in, and that'll be it for today. Okay, find the sum of this arithmetic series. So I know I'm going to need to create a sigma for myself. This is actually nice here. Ready? N equals 1. What are you going to go up to here? It's already done for you. I don't have to find the n value. It's given to me. I'm going to go up to 16. What's the only thing we're going to have to do? Find the equation for the nth term. Oh, that might be a little tough here, but we can discuss it. You guys did this on your assignment, which I got to give back to you. Nice job, by the way, everyone, if you haven't seen your grades yet. Okay, you ready? What's the problem, guys? I know I can do this and say D is 8. That's what they gave me. What's the problem? What the heck's the first term? How can I figure that out, Spence? Okay, so 240 equals, what's the first term, plus, you guys already know what n is, 16 minus 1 times 8. Go ahead and solve for the first term. This equation's powerful. You can use it for everything. Go ahead, 15 times 8, move that over the other side. What's my first term? You got what? I got 120 myself. Yes. Okay, so go back, plug it in. Now I have a little secret to tell you. Is it necessary that you clean it up every time? No. The only reason I ask you guys to clean it up because most of the multiple choice questions are with this distributed. Now, if you want, hey, you pull this on me. I'm not going to mark you wrong. I'm not going to mark you wrong. But if it's multiple choice and it's cleaned up, you got to do that yourself. That's not wrong, guys. That's fine. If you want to plug that in your calculator right now, go ahead. Or if you want to clean it up and plug that in, your call. So go ahead, let's find the sum, and then we'll call it a day here. And thank goodness that's on our calculator, right? Because we would have to plug in the numbers 1 through 16, and I don't think anybody, including myself, is feeling that right now. And what are we looking at? 2,880. That's what the quiz is on right there. That beginning of the unit up to right now, and there's a page on the next page of your packet and a couple questions out of the book. That's totally your call.